Well, I remember stepping off the plane and just being so, so cold. It was freezing. I got there in November, the first week of November, and I had never experienced such cold before, and it's not even that cold in November in Canada. But it was around freezing, and I remember going out. We would go to the mission home, and they would put us with experienced missionaries, not necessarily our trainers, but missionaries that are in that area of the mission home. And we would go out and tract, and we would street contact, and we would knock on doors, whatever, and just kind of get the feel for missionary work. And I remember going out that night and just freezing, almost freezing to death. But all the other experienced missionaries, they're all saying, "Oh, it's such a lovely day out. It's so nice. It's so warm." And I just remember thinking, like, what did I get myself into? It's so cold. I didn't have like a coat. It was just, it was a mess. But it was great. I went out to my first area, and my first area actually was in Maine. It wasn't in Canada, because a little part of my mission covers Maine. And so I remember being disappointed that I wasn't going to Canada. I traded in all my American dollars for Canadian dollars at the airport, and I was like so ready to go to Canada, and then I was sent to Maine. But it was a very small town, not something that I was used to. I'm from cities, and so it was very opposite to how I'd grown up, but it felt so much like home right when I first got there. And those people in that area just like became my family so fast, and I loved serving there. I served in such a small branch, but it was my favorite area. It was the area that I was trained, and I'll always remember it. It was so wonderful. I don't know how to explain it. It's just so great. I think I was surprised at how hard it was to wake up in the morning. And how, like, the sun goes down really early in the winter in Canada because you're so far up north, or in Maine, whatever. And so our work would end very early in the day, like out tracting, because we weren't allowed to be outside after dark, like in certain areas, and unless we had appointments. And so it felt like my days were so short. I was so surprised at how fast I could fall asleep at night and how hard it was to wake up in the morning. I thought it would be a lot more easier, that I would be like, oh, I got like a solid 8-9 hours of sleep. I could just get up and just work. But I could not do that. It was so hard. We had a obedience index in my mission. Like, we had to wake up, like, we counted obedience points. Like, if we woke up on time, if we started our studies on time, and things like that. And it was a struggle to get perfect obedience, not gonna lie. And I didn't think that would be a hard thing for me. Going into it, I thought, like, oh, it's so easy to have perfect obedience. Like, I'll just follow the rules, I'll be fine. I'm not gonna be one of those apostate missionaries. But it was hard to be perfectly obedient, and that's okay. It's okay to screw up a little bit sometimes, but just don't beat yourself up about it so much.